China is facing a major weather emergency tonight as powerful Typhoon Dolphin slams into the country's eastern coast, bringing destructive winds, torrential rainfall, and dangerous flooding. What was once a massive storm over the western Pacific has now reached China, and authorities are racing to protect millions of people from its impact. Typhoon Dolphin made landfall near Yuhuan in Zhejiang province, becoming one of the most powerful tropical cyclones to hit China this year. Reports indicate that the storm arrived with hurricane-force winds, while enormous bands of rain began sweeping across the region, and the danger is far from over. More than 1 million people have been evacuated or relocated across affected areas as authorities prepare for flooding, landslides, and further destruction. In coastal communities, powerful winds have already knocked down trees and caused flooding. Streets are becoming increasingly difficult to navigate as heavy rainfall pours across eastern China. The storm is also creating major disruption in one of China's most important economic regions. Shanghai has been heavily affected, with hundreds of flights canceled as authorities warn residents about dangerous weather conditions. Transport operations have been disrupted, while people have been urged to remain indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. But perhaps the biggest concern now is the amount of rainfall. Typhoon Dolphin is carrying huge quantities of moisture, and as the storm moves across eastern China, intense rainfall could trigger sudden flooding and landslides, particularly in low-lying and mountainous areas. Authorities have raised emergency responses and issued warnings as the storm continues moving inland. The situation is especially concerning because eastern China is home to millions of people and some of the country's busiest cities, transportation networks, and industrial zones. For residents who remain in affected areas, officials are urging extreme caution. Stay away from flooded roads, avoid rivers and coastal areas, and most importantly, follow evacuation orders and instructions from local authorities. The storm has already demonstrated how quickly conditions can change. One moment, roads can appear normal. Minutes later, powerful winds and rapidly rising water can transform streets into dangerous flood zones. And while Dolphin is expected to weaken after moving inland, that does not mean the danger disappears immediately.
对呀。
Heavy rainfall can continue even after a typhoon loses strength, creating secondary threats such as flash floods, landslides, and infrastructure damage. This is why emergency teams across eastern China remain on high alert. For now, the focus is on protecting lives, keeping evacuation routes open, and monitoring the storm's movement as it moves deeper into the country. Typhoon Dolphin is already being described as the strongest tropical cyclone to hit China this year, and its impact is being felt across a huge part of the eastern region. The coming hours will be critical. More rain is possible. More flooding could develop, and authorities are warning people not to underestimate the storm simply because it has begun weakening. We will continue monitoring Typhoon Dolphin and bring you the latest developments as they happen. Stay safe, stay alert, and follow official emergency instructions.
老铁们，没事点点赞，别白看啊！主播本人焦香头给你们直播的。对对对对。